Hello,
Hi,
friends.
everyone.
We're back. Here we are.
We always come back.
We always come back whether you want us to or not. Here we are. And we have a spicy episode.
It's a little spicy. I think you'll find it interesting.
It's kind of dark. I feel like mine's a little dark.
Some of mine can be a little dark, but I mean, we're telling you how to survive, so it's kind of light, right?
In a dark situation, there's always light.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about how to survive, freak accidents.
In which we've never experienced ourselves.
No, but, I mean, we did a little Google research.
Scientifically researched, and now we're going to provide you with some knowledge in case you're ever in a situation, you're going to think back and be like, I know what those girls said.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to survive and tell us all about it later.
Yeah, call in after.
Yeah. Give us a call when you're done with the PTSD.
How many did you bring?
Good question.
I think I have
1, 2,
6 or 7.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're always in sync. It's ridiculous. Okay.
You want to take us away?
I would love to.
I'm also interested, so we haven't talked about this at all.
Yeah.
I wonder if we have some of the same ones.
I kind of feel like we do today. We typically don't, but I feel like today's the day.
Yeah. I feel like you almost have to. How many freak accidents are there?
14? Doubt it.
Well, let's see.
Okay, so the first one I have is getting trapped under a building or a cave.
That's a good one.
Scary to think about. My hands are literally starting to get clammy. I was like, wait, that's intense. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do.
Okay.
You were trapped in a terrible situation. First thing you're gonna do is breathe deeply, but exhale very slowly. So that's tip 1. Don't use matches or lighters because fire decreases the amount of oxygen and you already have a limited amount. So don't do that. Don't scream. I feel like that's tough.
That is tough.
And I also just had a thought, if people are looking for you, you should scream, but what if you scream?
I guess if you should only scream if you
if you
hear
know.
people calling your name.
I'm getting stressed from this already.
Ugh.
Well, screaming increases panic, so your heart's going to beat faster, and then you'll have to breathe faster, and you don't want to breathe too much because you're going to lose oxygen. So it's just a cycle of death. So don't do any of those. Okay, and then here's what you're going to do. So you're going to take off your shirt, and you're going to wrap your head around. You're going to wrap your head with it, with a shirt. And it's going to protect you from suffocating in case there's any dust gaining your face.
I would have never thought of that.
Me neither. So that's all I got.
I have a story about this, actually. Sorry.
You're like, I survived.
No, it's not personal, but I feel bad because I can't remember the name of, the tragic event. But it was, I can't remember the name of it. But it happened in, I want to say Oklahoma or Ohio. I can't remember.
Starts with an O.
I think it's Oklahoma. Anyway, so there's these people in this big building, and anyway, someone bombed it, and there's people trapped in the rubble or whatever. So there was people looking, obviously, and there's this woman that was completely trapped. And this doctor, I think, finds her, and he's like, the only way I can get you out of here alive is if I cut your leg off. And all I have is a pocket knife. I read this in the museum of this thing. And she was like, all right, because what choice do you have? Honestly, it would even be a hard choice for me to make.
I'm trying to
leave me there and see what happens, or I don't know.
I'd be like, is this the only option?
So he was I can't remember if he gave her something to bite on or just told her, he's like,
how did she not
scream.
pass out from the pain?
I can't remember if she did
Maybe
or
she
not.
did,
She
yeah.
probably did at the end, but at the beginning he was like, just scream or whatever you have to do. A pocket knife. And she survived.
Okay, that's good.
Crazy.
That's insane.
Crazy. Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, what you had.
Except for kind of the opposite. I'm like, don't scream. It's just yeah, if you get your leg
she wasn't, her face wasn't, she,
right.
She was trapped, her leg was trapped.
Yeah. God. Okay.
All right, my first one is how to survive quicksand.
Oh, I don't have this one.
Good. Okay, so
Is quicksand even real? Like, where do you
Right.
find it?
So you have heard, I'm sure, like the movies show it as one way, and I've always heard like it's not like that, which it's not. So you do sink in it, but because we are less dense than the quicksand, like it's not gonna like cover you,
suck you in. Got it.
So they said like usually you'll go up to your chest and then you'll kind of stop. It's impossible to be pulled out because it creates a vacuum. So the more you struggle, it does suck more. So it's a mixture between obviously sand and water. And when you get stuck, the water so it actually, the water goes away from that area and it gets tighter and tighter. So what you want to do is don't struggle, obviously. I want to make sure I get all this right just in case.
Basically, don't do anything you think you do. Scream or struggle.
So if you're able to get horizontal before your feet sink all the way, try to do that. Like,
so you want to just...
Yeah, so you want to try to increase your surface area and kind of like disperse your body weight the best you can, if you're able to. If your feet have already sunk, then obviously it says you're at a large disadvantage and you create a vacuum. Take off anything that's going to add any extra weight, like a backpack or anything like that. If you have like a hiking pole, you can use that to kind of stabilize yourself and equalize your weight a little bit.
I hate this.
I know. So it says treat it like water, don't treat it like a solid. So kind of make small movements with your feet, like you're treading water a little bit, and you don't have to keep going, but you tread a little bit, and then it allows like water and air to come in there, and it kind of will break it up a little bit. And then using your elbows, you try to go backwards. Don't go forward, go backwards, and try to get yourself out backwards.
Whoa.
Apparently it works.
I would die.
So, I mean, in one of these situations,
I would die. But don't die and tell us about it. Jesus Christ.
All of these, even reading about them, I was like,
so terrifying. I know. Like, I'm so sorry if this video causes any more stress in your life. But also, you're welcome. Okay, I have falling off of a cruise ship. Pick this one because I feel like it can literally happen to anyone at any time, which is terrifying. So here's some fun facts. Cruise Lines International Association estimates that around 20 people fall from cruise ships annually.
That seems like a lot.
Doesn't it? I read that and I was like, I feel like you're trying to tell me it's not a thing, but I feel like it's a thing.
I guess because they're drunk.
Yeah.
But like, have you been on a cruise ship?
No.
They're high up
there. So it's like a scary thing.
If you're on like, because it's not like people are falling out of windows or anything. Like, you'd have to fall off. So at the very top, they have like the pool and stuff like that. At the very top, that's a long fall.
Oh,
that is a long fall.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you survived the fall, so I will say that this one's a little doesn't sound like there's a lot of hope.
Oh God.
But
your other one kind of sounded like there was a lot of fear.
You're right. I'm like, you don't have hope. But this one's worse. Okay, if the temperature of the water is low enough, you'll quickly go into shock.
Oh, good.
Often inhaling water as you gasp and thrush around to fight the cold.
Don't spare any gory details, Paul.
Yeah. So imagine yourself making you susceptible to drowning.
Okay.
So that's tip 1, I guess.
What is the tip?
Okay, here's the tip. Wrap your little hearts around this and tie it with a nice bow. Stay still and hope someone spotted you fall. What? Yeah, spotted you fall.
Yeah.
That sounds like a weird sentence, right? Stay safe and hope someone spotted you fall and has time to retrieve you before you succumb to hypothermia. When people fight the cold water, chances are they'll lose. Do less and float.
So the tip is
do nothing, float, but hope that you don't get hypothermia and die, or thrash around in the water and inhale water and die.
Not even mention the sharks.
Yeah.
What if you get run over by the boat?
Thought about that a lot. Yeah, that's not included in here. But
so many possibilities.
I know. They're like, just hope someone saw you fall.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Good tip.
great. So won't do that. So there you go.
Well,
Hope yours brings more hope.
I want to give you something real quick. I'm going to do this at the very beginning.
Actually give me something?
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, is it a tip? Is it a life
It's
jacket?
a gift.
What?
Because she, on another episode, said how much that I'm like idea person, but she does all the heavy lifting. Like, she does all the editing.
No.
Yes, and I know that cannot be easy, and I know it takes a lot of time, and it's not like you have a lot of time.
I might cry.
So I wanted to give you something.
Amber.
I just appreciate. I know you put a lot of time into this.
Here we are talking about death. Survival.
I meant to do this at the beginning.
She's like, let's interrupt this with some positivity. Wow, thank you so much.
I have to tell you the story about this.
First of all, I used yours as a coaster on accident.
It fucking broke. Okay, let me tell you.
I love it though.
I ordered this, first of all, for your birthday. Okay. Didn't come in time, so I was like, Christmas. Didn't come in time. It just came, and it came in 3 pieces.
Trigger warning. But I love it.
So it's hot glued together, as you can see.
It's perfect.
But, adds a little bit more.
You won't even be able to see it, maybe. But
It's a painting or cap.
it's an ornament of my little blue.
Put it in your new house.
You're
welcome.
I love it. Oh, she would have broken it anyway.
Yeah.
This was bound to happen. Oh, that was so sweet.
Well, I just know you
Thank
put a lot of time, and I just want you to know that I appreciate
It's my
it.
easiest job. I
That's
love
good.
it. Yeah, that's so sweet. Thank you so much.
All right, let's talk about dying a little
Let's
bit.
talk about dying.
All right, how to survive a riptide.
Oh god, this makes me nervous.
I knew it. All right, so I don't know what you've heard, or if you've heard anything.
I have.
So I've always heard to swim along the shore, like
Right.
parallel to the beach.
Yes. Is that wrong?
Apparently it's wrong.
I'm gonna die. Okay.
It says everyone tells you to swim parallel to the shore, one side or other, but a riptide is actually going in a giant circle. So there's no way for you to know if you are going the right way or you're swimming with it or against it. There's a 50-50 chance you're just going to be swimming against it.
Well, obviously I'm going to do the against.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
If there's a 50-50, I'm going to go the wrong way.
So there's a chance that could work, but there's also like a 50% chance it's not going to work. So this guy actually he's like a researcher of this, he put himself in a riptide, and he said, kind of like your last tip,
You're going to die.
all you can do is float. But eventually, because he said it usually lasts about 3 to 5 minutes.
I thought you were going to say hours for a second. I was like...
Well, he said, and I would have died. I mean, even 5 minutes, I'm not the best swimmer.
I know.
But because it's a giant circle, it will eventually bring you
you.
back, and then you can kind of get off from there. I know it's not the best scenario, but if you can just not panic and ride it,
I want to get off the ride earlier, actually.
You'll eventually come back. You can try, I guess, swimming along, but you would tire yourself out if it's the wrong direction. So,
Which I know it's 50-50, but it's 100% chance for me.
me too. For everyone else, it's 50-50.
Everyone else, you have a chance.
But these two, 0% chance. Well, I guess 100% chance you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, 100%. Never been more sure in my life.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, so everything we know is wrong.
Yeah, so far, everything I've known to be true is incorrect.
I'm terrified.
But at least now we know.
Now we know. Okay. So I picked Safari Attack.
I'm so glad we don't like these.
I know, this is
great.
weird. So this one, I divided it into types of beasts.
Okay, I was gonna ask, like, what does the safari include?
I got you covered. Okay.
Hmm.
Your strategy in dealing with the dangerous encounter will depend entirely on the species of beast.
There's so many beasts.
And also everything's like opposite and doesn't make sense. So try to remember this. Maybe flashcards that you do every once in a while, especially if you're going on a safari soon. Maybe not if you're not. But okay, with a lion, I'm sorry, I laughed when I wrote this because I was like, I will never. Make direct eye contact and back away slowly. Never turn your back and never run. Okay.
That would be
I'm like, you want me to stare at it and be like, I'm just gonna... Yeah. Just eat me. A leopard. Do the opposite. I swear to God. Do the opposite. What? Avoid eye contact at all costs.
Oh, God.
But wait. And hope they lose interest. So hopefully you're not interesting enough.
So there's really nothing you can do about that. Okay.
But maybe you're just not interesting. It'll all work out. Just don't
act
look.
really boring.
Boring. Think of like
wow,
your...
that one has no hope at all.
Yeah. I was writing
just
these
hope
and
that
I'm
they
like...
don't find you intriguing.
Think of like financial accounting class. Just be that class and
be kale.
Be
not
kale.
Like a meaty.
Yeah. No dressing.
Just think.
A leafy green. I am kale, but don't look at me. And then you'll win.
Yeah.
Elephants can be aggressive.
Ooh.
Stand your ground and pretend to be brave. I want the key word there to be pretend to be brave.
You know, I wouldn't have thought that an elephant... Well, I knew they could be aggressive, but I wouldn't think that you should stand your ground.
I know.
Because they're so big.
Yeah.
They could literally just stomp you.
Yeah. Imagine looking up at an elephant and being like, I'm brave. As a tear rolls
like,
down.
in my mind, I'm like, if I would for sure have run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
In my mind, even, like, I mean, I'm panicking, I probably would have run from all of these.
Yes.
But in my mind, I'm like, I can outrun an elephant.
Yeah.
They have
They're
legs.
thick.
They're thick. Yeah, I'm built like an antelope.
Yeah.
But then, apparently that's not what we're supposed to do.
Apparently you're just supposed to be brave. So
Okay, that's not
let's review. Never turn your back, make eye contact, walk away slowly.
That's a lion.
Leopard, do everything backwards. Don't look, be boring.
Okay.
Elephant, stand your ground, be brave. How are you supposed to remember this?
Wow.
And then we have the buffalo.
Oh, the good old buffalo.
Now, the good thing with the buffalo is you pretty much have no chance. I love this one. You will never outrun one or survive them in combat. So your best option is to get a head start and climb a tree. So hopefully there's a tree around. And you're a fast runner. And you can climb fast. Other than that, you're gonna die.
Well, there's a lot of hope for each of these.
Yeah. I wanted to pick some ones that like really made you think that you'd survive. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you're welcome.
The tree thing, I honestly, even if I saw a tree, by the way,
Let's start here.
I don't know if I've ever climbed a tree. I probably have climbed a tree when I was younger, but not in the past 20 years.
And I'm always the one who gets stuck at the tree, because I'm like, now I can't come down. And then I'm like, but at this point, I guess I wouldn't want to.
I'm down, but
Getting up.
I'm not athletic in that way. But I guarantee, with any of these situations, if I saw a tree, I would probably consider that as an option. And
run
for
fast.
sure. Well, if for some reason I started climbing the tree, I would have died in the first 3. The elephant could definitely have reached me.
Yep.
The leopard, no problem. Lion, no
100%.
problem.
Yeah.
But the buffalo, you might have a chance.
Might have a chance. But you want to get a head start because they can outrun
Make
you.
sure you have to get it.
I'm like, okay, are we going to count to 3? And I'm going to be like, hey, I'm going to start at 1.
Just
and you
give
start
me,
at
like,
3.
Close your eyes, count to 3.
I'm boring. Come on. Ask the other guy. I'm so boring.
Yeah.
Do you want to do this?
He skipped me. Wow,
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I also have an animal one.
Okay.
A bear attack.
Wait, let me see if I have this one. I don't.
Yes. Well, it's very similar to some of your animals.
Okay.
So there's the brown bear, and there's the black bear.
Is there different things to do with each bear?
Yes.
Oh.
Poor thing.
Now you gotta know the colors. Come on.
And apparently you can't always tell by like their colors.
I'm just gonna start drinking. Go ahead.
This is why we said before we would not do well in nature.
I'm going to a cabin in 2 weeks. I don't even know if there's bears over there,
Good
but
luck. Where are you going?
West Virginia. Are there bears in West Virginia?
Seems like there would.
I feel like there would.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone from West Virginia who's watching.
There's really there's bears everywhere. There's bears here.
Really?
There's black bears. Yeah.
So I don't even have to go to West Virginia to encounter one?
They probably have brown bears up there, which is the worst. Those are the grizzly bears, which I'm going to tell you about.
No, but they're so cute. Alright, I'll
You're
die.
not gonna
I'll
name
die.
it if you
I
have
know.
bears. Alright. If you see a bear in the area,
Mm-hmm.
you make noise to let it know that you're there.
Is this the black bear?
This is the brown bear.
Okay.
But I also think, so the black bear is easier. I'm just going to get that one out of the way. They're way less aggressive. A lot of times if you try to just, make noise, make yourself look big, because they're a lot smaller, they're a lot less aggressive, they will usually back down.
Okay.
Now the brown bear. The grizzly. So first of all, it says when you're walking through, just kind of try to make a lot of noise, rustle leaves. You don't want to startle one. So just let them know that you're in the area. If for some reason that you see a bear, but it has not seen you yet, like in the distance, don't go over there and don't disturb it. And
Hello!
Just don't make noise if it has not seen you yet, and it's like over there, just try to go somewhere else. So this says don't run. So there's a lot of options here because there's like stages of the attack.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make flashcards for this one.
For sure.
Go ahead.
Alright, so first of all, if the bear starts to approach you, don't run, which I've always heard, don't run from a bear because obviously they cannot run you. Just try to stand tall and calm and just back away slowly, kind of like a lion.
Are you looking at them? Do you know?
It didn't say, but since it says stand tall, I'm going to say yes.
Good point.
So just try to back away slowly, and you're just going to hope that they're going to lose interest.
Be boring. Got it.
Be boring. Now, if it keeps coming towards you, like if it's charging at this point or it's getting really close, you're going to fall down on your stomach or like completely flat on your stomach or in the fetal position where your knees are under your chin. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
So your back is up and your knees are on the ground. And that's just to protect your stomach. You're going to lace your fingers around the back of your neck to protect that. And you're going to play dead as best as you can, which I also have heard that. And it says, even if the bear is attacking you, just somehow you're supposed to tell yourself to just let it happen. Now, if the bear, for some reason, because you're playing dead, walks away, you need to stay down for like 20 minutes because a lot of the times they will go and watch you to make sure that you're dead.
A savage!
They might be smarter than we thought.
Shit.
So if you're being attacked or whatever and it walks away, stay down for really as long as you can. And then you're just going to get up and slowly and calmly walk away.
Alright, so my next one I think is probably my most depressing one.
Great timing. The timing is impeccable.
Impeccable timing.
Okay.
I got a little upset reading this one and doing some research because this one is about surviving a plane crash. And I like going on planes. Actually, let me rephrase that. I like traveling. I'm terrified of going on planes now because it's scary as shit. And I've experienced some weird shit. I don't like it. And pretty much, let's just start off. You're probably not going to survive a plane crash.
Okay.
But in case you're found in a horrible situation like that, there are some things you could do. And I read a couple articles of people who survived plane crashes, and they said what they did. But they're usually really depressing, so it's like, the only person out of the 100-something people who survived did this, this, and this. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be that one.
We'll never be that one.
But here we are. So, some tips. Bigger planes have bigger... Sorry, I'm a little shook right now. Bigger planes have a better survival rate due to the greater energy absorption and less deadly force upon impact. So you're also less likely to deal with turbulence, which is great because turbulence is scary. So there you go. Go on a bigger plane. Okay. So you have to get out of, so if you're in a plane crash, you have to get out in 90 seconds or less. The cabin can become engulfed in flames in about 210 seconds after impact.
Not a lot of time.
No. So you just book it. Get out of there. That's probably a good idea to sit near an emergency exit, so you can just get out.
At least an aisle seat.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't think about that. Oh, God.
My least favorite place.
I'm stressed. Okay. I hated this fact.
Oh, no.
Because I know it's going to freak me out. 80% of plane crashes occur either in the first 3 minutes or last 8 minutes of the flight. During this time, you should be very attentive. Make sure you're awake, keep your shoes on, headphones off, and seatbelt securely fastened. I feel like I should be doing this while I talk. Okay. If your cabin has been compromised at a high altitude, you have 15 seconds at most to put your oxygen mask on before you fall unconscious.
Except when your oxygen mask doesn't come down, like in my situation.
You would have, oh, God. Yeah, what do you do? You don't, you die.
Someone did pass out. Remember when that happened to me?
No? What?
We lost cabin pressure. And it was Narendra and I. We were coming back from like a wedding.
Oh, this is getting familiar. Okay.
Yeah, we lost. He was asleep, and I kept feeling the plane like up and down, and I kept having to readjust my ears and pop my ears again. And I'm like, this is feeling really strange. And then the captain or the pilot got on and was like, we've lost cabin pressure. Like something broke on the plane, and I can't remember what it was, obviously. But we had to make an emergency landing in like Albuquerque. And it was like, and then when we landed, like fire trucks had to meet us because someone had passed out and they were like worried about everyone. I think they got us down quickly enough that like other people didn't pass out, I guess.
Dang. Okay, that's terrifying.
But then we all had to get off the plane, obviously. And then he was like, the pilot comes on and was like, hey, I'm sorry, but it's not safe to get back on this plane. Like, you're all gonna have to rebook. Didn't help us with it at all. Like, we all had to just find our own way. We were in line for like, hours, because everyone had to get in like the same line and just find a flight that had a seat available.
Did you have to pay for it?
I don't remember having to pay for it.
Okay.
But like the flight that we were able to get was the next day. Like we were gonna have to spend the night in Albuquerque, and my mom was watching my dogs. I just wanted to get back, and I didn't want to spend the night.
Yeah,
there.
That's crazy.
And then after we all booked, the pilot comes back out and says, hey, just kidding, we're getting back on this plane.
No, we're not. Did you get back on the plane?
Well, I texted my mom and I was like, these are my two options. And she's like, don't you dare get back on the plane.
Okay, I was like, no.
Well, I got back on the plane.
What's wrong with you?
Well, I don't know. I was just like, I just want to get back home. Hopefully. But then, so when he said, we're getting back on the plane, they don't help us with that either. We have to get back in line, cancel our flights that we just made, book back onto this broken plane, and then get back on the plane. And that's when they're like, free alcohol for everyone. You remember that?
Yep.
And then I specifically got called out by a flight attendant, and she told me, excuse me, ma'am, but I'm going to have to cut you off, when I wasn't even doing it. Nothing. I was doing nothing. I was not even talking.
Also, I would like to point out that I've known Amber for quite some time. She's never been out of control. Ever.
I don't
Ever. And even if she's like drinking, you can't
I'm
tell.
not causing a scene.
You can't tell. I've never experienced that ever.
But the thing is, everyone was drinking. My boyfriend was drinking double what I was drinking. And he was in like the aisle seat, and so she had to lean over him to tell me that I was cut off.
You're like, what?
I was very confused and embarrassed.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah,
I still don't
very
get that.
strange. The whole situation made it home okay.
Well, we know, because if you didn't, you would die, probably, according to my stats. So, there you go. Okay, here's another little fun fact. I think this is my last one. For every centimeter of slack your seatbelt has, the gravitational force you'd experience in plane crashes triple. Oh, wow. You should keep the seatbelt fastened so that its upper edge is right below the upper ridge of your pelvic, as this will help brace you much better than your stomach.
You know, I really don't understand why this, like, what does a seatbelt do that just goes over your, like, pelvis?
What do you mean?
Like, instead of having a seatbelt that actually holds you in like a car.
Oh.
Like, does that, like, I feel like I could just slip right out of that.
Huh.
Like, and you could just lurch forward. Like,
yeah.
Break your back.
That's a good point. I never really thought
like,
about
what
that.
does that do?
I always thought about, like, the seatbelts that kind of like on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Like, I want those in everything.
I want that in a plane for sure. Like,
yeah.
Maybe not, you know, you don't, obviously in a plane you don't have to wear them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, when there's something going on, you should be able to strap yourself
Strap the
down.
fuck in, yeah. Yeah.
Unless they just want you to be able to, they're like, you're more safe if you can get out. I don't know.
Or, like, it's too expensive and you probably won't even need it because you'll die.
You won't be able to afford the plane ticket after we put these.
Yeah, well, there you go. So don't use your stomach because it won't work.
So you should put it lower than your stomach.
Yeah, you should put it around the ridge of your pelvis.
Okay.
And nice and tight. Just the way we like it.
So this is funny because mine is falling out of a plane. Not the same. So this is not a plane crash, but you've
These are some crazy freak accidents. I'm so proud of us. Okay.
So maybe you've gone sucked out of a window. That does happen.
Yes.
Or maybe you're going skydiving and your parachute doesn't open. Whatever. Whatever the case may be.
Sure. Whenever you find yourself falling out of a plane.
So the first thing is, it says you're probably going to pass out.
Good.
I don't think, it's not just skydiving, I don't think you're high enough to pass out because, like, you know, obviously. But, like, if you're in a passenger plane, you're so far up, you'll probably pass out. But it says you'll most likely wake up while you're still in the air. Thank God.
Great.
So I want to witness all.
Yeah. Let's just do it.
So you've seen skydivers kind of like do the flying squirrel. So it says do that. So you can kind of slow yourself down and also guide yourself if you're able to think about it.
Yeah.
So spread all of your limbs out in the air and try to aim yourself if you can somewhere soft. They said like hay.
Okay, got it.
You know, grass, bushes.
Noted. What about water? Is water good or is that going to kill you?
Stay away from water. Specifically, it says stay away from water.
Ouch.
If you're in a position where you have no choice but to land in water, like
you're going to pencil it?
You're going to pencil it.
No, I'm not.
Like, you should, but I won't. So, if you have to land in water, try to go, you know, pencil it feet first. They said you could do head first.
Sure.
With your, you know, whatever that.
A perfect dive.
Sure, if you're able to somehow make that work for you. Make your body as rigid as you can, and it says clench your butt. The less said about why, the better. So, you know, I feel like that could kill you alone.
I want to know why. I want to look into that. I know, but
right.
Like, I need details.
I should have gotten more details, I'm sorry.
I probably shouldn't. I'm sure our viewers don't actually want that.
Okay, so if you're not, that's what you should do if you have to land the watch.
Oh.
If you're, I was also thinking, like, I would need to hold my nose.
Oh.
Like,
fuck, we're fucked.
So I'd have to go feet first, clench the butt, hold the nose.
Wait, that's a good point. Because if you don't,
I can't even go into a regular pool without.
Me neither. I already feel like there's a lot of pressure there.
It goes up my nose immediately. Like, there's nothing.
No, yeah, I try everything.
Yeah. So.
We're gonna die. Go ahead. Look for hay.
Look for hay.
Just find hay.
Find hay. So it says, also water it can be as hard as concrete if you land on it like that. Like if you land, like you would for sure die if you landed like belly flop back. You know, like it says it's as hard as concrete when you land like that because the surface tension is so bad. So, Vontae. Anyway, so if you're not in water and you're laying on the ground, so you've probably seen videos of the skydivers. They kind of land in like a sitting position with their feet out first, their knees bent, kind of leaning back. They said you should still do that.
Really?
Yeah, just try to land in a sitting position. Don't try to like put your feet down, because obviously your legs are just gonna break. So try to just kind of sit and just go.
Just relax.
Yeah, just
sit back and enjoy. I'm not going skydiving anymore.
I was never going.
I thought about it, but now, now there's no way.
I've never thought about it. People have tried to get me to go multiple times. I just don't. There's no way. Even if it was fun, like while you're in the air, there's no way that I could be okay with just walking off the ledge.
That's definitely the scariest.
And I know you're attached to someone, so like you really don't have a choice. But like I think I have a panic attack before I walk off. Like I would be crying for sure.
I wonder if I'd pass out.
Take me. On purpose. Yeah. Just land in hay.
All right, let's get back to the animals. They somehow seem better.
They are more fun.
So, here we have surviving a crocodile attack. If you spot a croc, back away slowly and try not to make any sudden movements. Splashing in water will only draw more attention. If a crocodile heads your way, run. Okay, so what do you always hear?
Don't run.
Well, that too. I'm like, no. So everyone always tells you to run in zigzags, right? Apparently you can't do that. So run away in a straight line.
Okay.
The zigzag motion is just a myth. Crocodiles can move at 10 miles per hour, so run fast. First of all, horrible directions. Just run fast. I'm gonna die.
But out of all the ones we've said so far, this one I might could do. Just run away.
That's a good point. You back away slowly and run.
Take off.
You book it.
I can run past in 10 miles an hour. You can too.
Yeah, I'm sure I could, especially a crocodile.
Especially under those
fly.
circumstances. You just start
You're going to see me flopping away. Yeah, so there you go. Which makes me wonder, like, are alligators the same way? And why do people say run in zigzags? And why is that a myth? And why is it not popular popular opinion to not run in zigzags?
I don't even really know if I've heard that for, like, a crocodile.
Really?
Like a bullet. If someone's going to
that too. No, I thought it was, like, common knowledge, like, run in a zigzag.
I can't
imagine. People just lying?
I just can't imagine why.
Because, like, they have short legs, and so they're hard to, like...
Without just slowing you down. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, but now you know. Don't do that.
Either way, don't do it. Okay, crocodiles can see underwater and at night. However, their eyes are the most vulnerable parts of their body. So, if you find yourself in a situation with a croc, poke them in the eyes if engaging in a battle with them.
It would work on me for sure.
For sure. Definitely. I'd be like, all right. When pulled into a death roll, fight like crazy. So there's this woman named Val Plumwood. She found herself in a death roll, which is a maneuver meant to drown and subdue the prey.
This is one of my worst nightmares. I think about this.
What? I think about planes way too much.
I don't ever think about planes.
Wow. Are you weird or am I weird?
We're both weird.
So this happened in 1985. She fought the crocodile by hitting it and jabbing her fingers into what may have been the eyes or nose. So just do that. Here's another situation that's maybe less fun than Val's. When in doubt, sacrifice a limb. So Rudy Francis...
Just pick one?
Yeah, pick one. Whichever.
So when you're least attached.
Yeah, maybe your left hand if you're righty. I don't know. Rudy Francis was feeding a crocodile in 2017 when it latched onto his leg. The crocodile began pulling him into shallow water and began its death roll. Francis knew his best chance of survival was to hug its underbelly and avoid getting bit more or getting hit by the tail. Getting hit by the tail. Fearing the worst, he told his coworkers to pull him to safety, letting the croc tear his leg away.
Oh.
He lost his leg but survived the ordeal. So. Mm-hmm.
See, it's like that story with the woman who's like, take my leg.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in a situation where I had to make that decision, but it just seems like one. I'm not good at making decisions.
So she's like, I don't know. What do you should think?
Give me 5 minutes.
Can we take a poll? Oh. But I will say, I feel like if you're in a life or death and there's a crocodile latched to your leg,
I mean, yeah, you're
just
do whatever.
Just take me kind of thing. So.
Pull me. If my leg comes off, it comes off.
And it came off.
But she survived.
Yeah. Everyone survived in this one, so that's good.
That's good. So mine is a shark attack.
Oh, look at us.
All right, so it's kind of the same as you go for the eyes.
Okay.
You also go for the gills. Just hit them in the eye and the gills as fast and as hard as you possibly can, which would be really hard underwater.
I was just thinking that, yeah.
You're like,
go!
But, maybe if your life is on the line, you find some kind of superpower.
Yeah.
If you have something, say you have a surfboard, use that first. Use your hands and feet as a last resort, because obviously they can grab those. But if you have something else, use it. If you don't, honestly, punch and kick.
Left hand.
Now, if the shark grabs you in its mouth, it's kind of like a death roll. Just be as vicious as possible. Fight as hard as possible. You grab onto the muzzle of the shark with any free limbs to avoid being thrashed. So you know how they a lot of times will shake. So just grab onto them.
Hang on tight.
Just ride.
Oh God, this is horrible.
This says claw, kick, elbow, whatever you're able to do to injure the gills and eyes. It says never try to play dead. This is not a bear.
Shark's like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that was easy.
Lame.
Yeah, because they'll eat dead alive.
Yeah, they don't care how boring you are.
But it's kind of weird that bears care, because what other animals care?
I think bears are great.
Well, they're cute as a button.
They sure are. And they don't care. If it's not a challenge, it's not worth their time.
Right, they're like, I'm not going to eat something that I didn't kill.
So pathetic, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, crocs and sharks, if you're underwater, go for the eyes.
Yeah, sacrifice a limb.
Sacrifice a limb if you have to.
Okay, getting buried alive.
Oh!
This is one of those. I think about it every once in a while.
So do I.
There was an episode of CSI.
Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking
with
about.
Nick. Is that his name?
I don't know the names. You actually said the name. But yeah, I
He's
know.
buried alive.
With the ants.
Yep, with the ants. Oh God, yeah. I still remember that. I think about that every once in a while, and I'm like,
I know exactly. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
thanks a lot, CSI, for fucking us up. CSI Las Vegas, if you're gonna look it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's what you're gonna do if you ever find yourself in an unfortunate situation. Conserve air at all times by staying calm. So we can all laugh together at that one.
Yeah.
Take deep breaths and hold them as long as you can.
I'm not good at that.
No. You'll have a few hours of air.
A few hours is good.
It's good.
I thought it would be less than that.
So if you're in a modern, thick coffin,
you're specific brand.
Yes. Serial number 6. Your only hope is to make a lot of noise by scraping on the casket lid with a watch, ring, or buckle.
So don't scream.
Don't scream. You're going to lose the oxygen.
Maybe
Hope you have some accessories with you or something that you can scratch.
I don't ever wear accessories.
Well, girl, you better start wearing
I didn't do that.
belts. Oh my God, if she got buried alive today.
I thought I had a ring on.
She's screwed. You better...
I was about to say, well, now I'm wearing a ring. Oops, no.
Better go stay home safe today.
Yeah.
Put a ring on. Okay, but let's just say that you're in a cheap pine box.
Oh, what is that?
It's just it's kind of like the one that Nick was in. Whatever his name. I think his name's Nick.
So a cheap coffin.
Just a cheap coffin. It's, you're
Not
in
the
a
modern
box.
one.
You're not in the one that you're going to be buried in after death. You're in just the, disposable, whatever. You're going to remove your shirt and tie the okay, this is actually kind of interesting. You're going to remove your shirt, tie the bottom into a knot, and slip your head through the neck hole. Kick and punch at the coffin lid to break the wood.
Oh.
Push loose dirt down toward your feet, and then to your sides, and then to the space that's created when you're able to sit up. Keep moving until you can stand and crawl out.
I would be afraid. My first thought would be like, it would...
Like,
yeah.
I know, I thought about that too. It's
It
scary.
would just crush you, I thought. But maybe not. I guess it depends on how far down you are.
And I wonder how loose, because like that's going to be, it's not going to be super compact.
Right, because
So you're just going to have to
worm
your way up, and then...
Well, that gives me hope.
A little bit.
That one's kind of hopeful.
So you better be in a pine box.
Yeah.
With a shirt on.
And a ring.
No, you don't need a ring for this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're good.
I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of hope.
Yeah, I liked that one.
I love that one.
All right, mine is if you're in a car that falls off a bridge.
Oh, that one's too real.
All right, so the first thing is if you are able to think quickly enough. So that rules me out.
So I'm out. Okay, what's next?
So if you're, like I said, if you're able to think quickly enough, roll down your window before you hit the water. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to roll it down when it's underwater because the pressure is going to be too great. So once the car actually hits the water, you do have a short period of time before the car fills with water. And I want to say it's not crazy short. Like, you have enough time to kind of figure things out.
Okay.
I want to say. It's not like 10 minutes, but it's not like
about
30
20
seconds.
minutes. Call your mom.
Yeah. So unbuckle, try the windows while you're floating. If that doesn't work, you can break the door window by hitting it with something hard. And you want to try the corner. That's where the glass is the weakest.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They also said don't waste your energy on the windshield because that's made to withstand greater forces, like for car accidents and stuff. So always do the window, go for the corner. And like I said, the windshield is made with a stronger stuff, so don't waste your time. It's a good idea to have a seatbelt cutter because a lot of times your seatbelt will lock because you've been in an accident, I guess, kind of. So I actually just bought, it's a seatbelt cutter, and it also has like a little point for you to break your window because I was reading about this and I was like,
nope,
that's not gonna happen to me.
I've heard that you can, if you take the back
I've heard that, yeah.
headrest, you can take the metal part, break the mirror, and use that to cut your seatbelt, and then use the metal part to break the glass.
Yeah, I heard about the breaking the glass with it. It seemed like that would definitely work.
Yeah, I would think so.
Looking at what it's shaped like. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it also says, save yourself and then try to save others because otherwise it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Like it even says if you have kids, and it's the same thing on a plane, if you have kids, you put yours on first or you get your seatbelt off first, then go get them. Because otherwise, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, save yourself, then you can save others.
Yay. Okay. I got my last one.
Okay.
Human stampede.
Human stampede.
Yep. Human stampede. I've been in kind of one of these. It's terrifying. Hated it. Be alert. Evaluate your surroundings before it even happens. If you're attending a large event with lots of people, know where all the exits are. Take cover. An indoor venue, this may be side hallways or a closet. And the outside, it can be trees, cars, or anything that you can climb over to protect yourself. If you can't take cover, you have to keep moving because resisting the force is only going to tire you out. Mm-hmm. Here's a tip that I thought was really interesting. So when you're moving, instead of just moving with the crowd, what you're going to want to do is move diagonally with the crowd. So that way you can actually get out versus just kind of joining everyone else. And then you won't get stuck at like a choke point, like a doorway or something and die. Yeah. People can die from being trampled, but they can also die from the pressure that can become so great that it crushes people and prevents them to breathe.
So I guess that's what would happen if there's a door.
Yeah. Which, ugh.
Yeah.
So, If your arms are near your chest, it allows you to push this pressure to make space so you can breathe.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you always want to do that.
Elbow, everyone.
Get the fuck out, you know what I mean? That's all I got, so you just make it out alive.
Just do the best you can.
Thank you.
All right, I have my last one. So this is really the one that started it all.
Oh, yeah, I know this.
So this is free falling elevator.
I thought about this a lot.
This is the one that started this whole episode. So there's a myth that says if there's a free falling elevator that while it's falling, that you should jump while it's falling. And
What fucking myth is that?
I have heard that before. Like,
what?
Yes.
Why? Why would you want to jump?
The reasoning behind it is that they're hoping that the person is hoping that their timing's going to be right. Where
they'll be in the air.
They'll be in the air. That will never work. Ever. Ever. In fact, if you do that, and, the chances of you being in the air, they're 0.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is it's going to land, and your legs are literally going to go through your body.
So you'll probably die.
100%. So what you should do instead is you lay, I think, on your back. Yeah, you lay on your back, you cover your head, and you spread it out as much as possible to disperse your weight. And, that's really all you can do. So there was a woman, this is the only woman, I think, if I read correctly, in history that's ever survived a free-falling elevator.
Great.
She did this. They said, you're still going to break things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also thinking, a lot of stories.
Right, not on the second or third floor.
Right. I'm thinking a lot of stories. She said, you're still going to break a lot of things, but you do, it's the only thing you can do to give yourself a fighting chance. So just remember, lay down,
spread eagle.
Yeah, spread eagle, try to protect your head. Don't jump.
Don't jump. Woo!
That was a heavy one.
That was it was a little morbid, but we got 14 freak accidents.
And now you know how to survive, maybe.
Or that you just won't, and enjoy the ride, because it's done.
Either one.
Wow. I don't know about you, but I'm sweating, because and it's cold, so these are real nerve sweats right now. I'm like, okay, I'm on my way home. What do I have to worry about?
I think you should study up.
I'm going to make flashcards for sure, especially with the animals.
With the animals, yeah. Because the other ones you can, I guess, kind of avoid, don't get on a plane, don't go over a bridge, don't get in an elevator, use the stairs. But, you can't help it if you stumble upon an alligator.
Sure can't.
Yeah.
But I'm not going on a safari, I'll tell you that.
Well, thanks for joining us, guys. I hope you learned something. I know it was kind of heavy, but I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, and you're welcome.
You're welcome. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.